This week's episode of the Curious Podcasts is brought to you by you, our valued listeners. If there are any topics you would like to hear us talk about, you can submit your suggestions at curious.podcasts@gmail.com. Also, if you want to show us some love and support, why not pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/thecuriouspodcasts. Another refreshing drink.
Shut up.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Curious Podcasts with Dr. Drewcifer and Richy Lawless.
Hell yeah.
Well, this week I have not researched a thing. I've done nothing for this week.
Good.
You want to know why? Because this week's episode is a special episode because it's going to be about nothing but Richy's flaccid member, as requested by someone last week.
Oh, right. Well, this is awkward. Talk about putting us on the spot.
You mean you didn't prepare any material for it?
Didn't prepare me flaccid penis for this episode. You got nothing else you want to talk about?
Right, I've got a couple of stories that I've got ready. I didn't think I'd be talking about them until next week.
Well, I think we're gonna have to. I think we should use it this week.
Damn it, Richy. Okay then. Well, in that case, then, if you are unprepared to talk about your flaccid member as requested by one of our valued listeners. And actually, I will be talking about the world's most epic headbutt in history. And let's see. Ooh, and I've got one about a regiment within the Russian Air Force known as the Night Witches during World War II.
And then after that, it's Richy's Corner.
Yes, indeed, Richy's Corner. But we do have a message from one of our listeners. Let's have a look. I think I'll start off with this. So the message has been sent in anonymously. And oh, how did life get so twisted with a pair of cat curses and a wild redhead? I'm assuming the redhead in question must be Madame Jem. Which wouldn't surprise me. She's naturally a redhead. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but she does tend to change her hair colour.
I don't know. I'm normally blindfolded and gagged.
You saucy thing, you.
No, just in general. Just
Yeah.
most days of the week.
Well, hopefully we will be able to get an answer formulated for you. I can't quite think off the top of my head how to respond to that at the moment, but we'll see if we can come up with anything by the end of the episode.
Also this week,
Yes.
we're going to find out why Drew is a wanker. Or at least try to find out why.
We're as likely to find out why I am a wanker as you are to be prepared to be talking about your flaccid penis. I.e. not at all.
Right, do you want to start then?
Do I want to start? Have you got nothing to talk about to begin with? Before we get into the main topics of Richy's Corner?
No.
No. I'll tell you what though, I'm looking forward to Richy's Corner to see what's going on between the between 8-8 and
No
Barbara.
spoilers. No spoilers, I've got to wait.
Well, I'm not asking you to give away spoilers, I'm just wondering what's going to be happening now, you know.
It's very interesting.
Okay, well then, let's jump straight into the world's most epic headbutt in history. So this is a true story, that took place in Buenos Aires in 1988. The Montoya family were staying in, I think it was a hotel, and they were up on the 13th floor,
Mm-hmm.
and their youngest son was playing a game of fetch with the family's pet poodle, Catchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, playing catch with a dog called Catchy. And while young Mr. Montoya was playing fetch, he threw the ball a bit too hard, and when it bounced, it went out of the open balcony door.
Oh God.
And the poodle was that fixated on the ball, it didn't realise the danger. And when the ball went over the railing on the balcony, Catchy followed suit and plummeted 13 floors down to the ground on street level.
Oh.
Now, as Catchy was falling through the air, there was a lady known as Senorita Espina who had stopped to admire a carpet in a shop window.
Mm-hmm.
And within the last few moments, she heard this bark from above her, and as she looked up, Catchy connected. A 13 floor drop, causing Catchy to reach terminal velocity, and headbutted Senorita Espina.
To kill her.
Killed both of them.
Wow.
Broke both of their necks.
Ow.
With this caused, as you can imagine, some commotion, and there were people gathering around, like saying it just to say what had happened, or maybe even trying to help. And as that was happening, there was a lady known as Edith Sola, who I believe was working in one of the shops across the street.
Mm-hmm.
I might have that wrong. Now we're not sure if she started to cross over the road, and we're not sure if she was crossing over just to see what had happened, or if she was heading over to try and help. But as she started crossing the road, there was a local bus service. I think the number 55 was coming up that road at full speed. And when she stepped out, the bus driver had no time to be able to swerve and miss her. All he could do was slam on the brakes. And the bus connected, sending Edith flying through the air sideways.
Fucking hell.
Now, during all of this, there was a gentleman, name unknown, who had just come out of the pharmacy in time to see Catchy hurtling towards street level and headbutt Senorita Espina. Now, witnesses say that he started praying. That the guy was just like absolutely wrought with despair instantly at the sight of it, and he was like he was frozen to the spot, and started. He was like clutching his face, clutching his head, and was praying because of the sight he just seen. And while he was praying, he suddenly heard the screeching of brakes, and he turned to look at the sudden noise in time to see the bus connect with Edith Sola and send her hurtling through the air sideways. And by the time she hit the ground, I mean bones and everything were already shattered by the bus impact. She was already dead by the time she hit the tarmac.
Right.
So you can imagine walking out of the pharmacy to see a dog go and kill Senorita a spinner. And then seconds later, he has screeching over brakes to turn around and see a woman being hit by full impact by a bus travelling at full speed and sending her hurtling through the air. But as you can imagine, the guy started praying even harder. I mean, this is the sort of stuff you'd expect from a Final Destination movie. You know? And he started praying that hard, he was that wrought with despair. He ended up having a heart attack on the spot.
Fucking hell.
It was too much for the guy. You know, it was just too much for him. So he passes away. There's nothing anyone can do for him. It really is. It's like something you'd expect from a Final Destination movie, isn't it?
Is that it? Yeah.
Well, there is a moral to the story.
Uh-huh.
If you're going to play a game of fetch on the 13th floor, make sure you close the balcony doors first.
But, right, is this true? Because it sounds like a creepypasta or something.
No, this is true.
Right.
This actually did happen in 1988.
Now, the least little thing, like, affected so many different lives there.
Yeah, butterfly effect, domino effect, you know, it's like a freak occurrence, but there are records of freak occurrences, you know, do happen throughout history. It's not just creepypasta or tall tales or whatever, it's actually true stuff that happened.
Look at people like when they get knocked over and stuff, it's like, if they had left the house even a few seconds earlier, it wouldn't have happened. Do you know what I mean? And if, like, I think everything's not so much planned, but like you couldn't time it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've got one for you. One that happened to me. Remember the bridge at the top of the estate that we grew up on?
Oh God, aye.
Yeah, it was Exeter Bridge. Remember the day the middle of it got knocked down?
Yep.
Me and my mum had just come out of hospital. Like, my mum was there as an inpatient. Came out and the bus that was supposed to get it actually turned up like a couple of minutes early.
Yeah.
So as we're heading to the bus stop, we see the bus go past a few minutes before it's supposed to. So we miss it. Now, if that bus had been on time and we'd been able to catch it, we worked it out that we would have been on the bridge when it got knocked down.
Fuck.
So because that bus was early, we were late getting back home, meaning that by the time we did catch a bus and got there, the bridge had already been knocked down.
I remember that day. I was in the schoolyard. Like, God, I could only been about 6 or something, and I remember just this massive, like, loud sound.
Mm-hmm.
The ground shook, and I turned around and I just seen, like, do you know, like when buildings are being ripped down and there's cables and stuff hanging out, and
aye.
And I was like, whoa, like, I still have nightmares about that. That I'm on that bridge, and there's no railings and stuff, and I've got to get across, and I'm all like, oh, it's weird. But a weird thing with that bridge. But anyways, people don't know what we're talking about here.
But I mean, it was an old. With it being an older design bridge, it was badly made. Like, with regards to, like, the support structure in it. It was like the only thing that was securing the middle piece in place were those two metal. Was it rebar? You know, the cylindrical bits of metal that go through.
Aye. That's what I remember seeing.
Yeah, because there
out.
was two of them going through, and that was the only bit of support that there was on that bridge. I think that's not really any support at all when you think about the weight of the bridge.
Yeah. So you can't find out any kind of news about that.
Really?
I've tried. I think it didn't happen.
Oh.
So that's your thing. But,
world skipping events going on there. And people will say it's all down to CERN and the Large Hadron Collider. Well, that is what they're saying. You know, that when they turned it on a few years ago, they caused a world skipping event. But as you said, that's something for another episode.
Mm-hmm. You said you had two stories?
Yes, indeed I do. Indeed I do. Now, this one is about a regiment known as the Night Witches, who were part of the Soviet Air Force during World War Two, and the nickname was given to them by the German army, or the Nazis. Now, these women were part of the 588th Night Bomber Regiment of the Soviet Air Forces. And they were led by Major Marina Raskova, who has actually been referred to as the Russian Amelia Earhart, because she has quite a number of records attributed to her with regards to long distance flights with no stopping in them. Now, in 1941, Major Raskova used her personal connection to Stalin to get permission to form this regiment, because when the Nazis had invaded as part of the Soviet territory, the women who lived there had contacted Major Raskova and said, look, we want to fight, we want to do our part.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, okay, let's do this. And apparently pestered Stalin to get permission. It's like, he would just say yes to her just to get her to go away and leave him alone.
Right.
Now, anyone else wouldn't have gone away with doing that, but she had it. The nature of the personal connection, I don't know. But because she had a personal connection to him, she could just go straight to him with anything without dealing with the rest of the chain of command. And she would just get away with him with regard to getting permission to do stuff. So from 1942 until the end of the Second World War, we had this regiment of women in the Soviet Air Force who were terrorising the hell out of the Nazis. I just caught a whiff of the blood.
Yeah.
It's the marijuana again.
Fuck.
God, that stinks. It's making me hungry. Where was I? Now, one thing that has been noted is that, given that this was World War Two, women in the armed forces in general, regardless of what branch, that was unheard of in that time. So what people have picked up on is that Stalin was actually quite progressive, because he had a general. One of the reasons he said yes because he had. I'll say that a bit slower. One of the reasons he said yes, and pretty much straight away said yes as well, is because he had a general interest in these women's tremendous international propaganda value.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happened? A lot of the women had each ended up flying about 800 individual missions each, or sorties, as they're referred to as in the Air Force. And what they were doing is they were flying at night, hence night witches, and they were just harassing and bombing the Germans constantly at night. At most, they had, at any given time, they had 40 two-person teams. Now, something I do want to point out. Now, you know the type of planes that were flying during World War Two, like the Spitfires and what have you. You want to know what these women were flying?
It wasn't broomsticks, was it?
No, but what they were flying sounded like broomsticks. They were flying wood and canvas biplanes. You know, like the type used for crop dusting.
Oh,
In fact, that's exactly what they were using. They were using crop dusting planes. The men get all the fancy equipment, but these women, like, sounds like, look, you want to do it, fine. If saying yes gets you out of my office, Major, then yes, you can do it. But you're getting the shit equipment. Well, they made it work. Major Oscova made that work. So, like I said, at any given time, the maximum they had was 42 two-person teams. That's 80 women flying at any given time.
yeah.
And all in all, between them all, they flew over 23,000 sorties. They dropped 3,000 tons of bombs, as well as 26,000 incendiary shells.
Right.
So you can imagine, like, napalm bombing them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these particular planes, with them not being as high tech as things like Spitfires or what have you, they couldn't fly as fast. They actually ran quieter because their engines weren't as powerful. But one thing that they did have is better manoeuvrability. So when the Germans would fly up to try and get them, they couldn't catch them. Even though the German planes were faster, the Major Oskova's planes were far more manoeuvrable.
Mm-hmm.
And just to make it even more, just to make them even quieter, as they were closing in on their German targets,
It stole the engine.
yeah, they would turn the engine off. And the Germans reported that what they heard was like this whooshing noise, like that of a broomstick, as the planes went overhead with their engines off.
Nice.
Just before the bombs started dropping. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the women were cackling as well for added effect. But that's why the Germans nicknamed them the Night Witches, because it sounded like broomsticks rather than planes going overhead.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Well, it gets better. So, in addition to having these biplanes, so all they had was these biplanes and a pistol each. You know, and when they were flying, if the bomb didn't drop, so if the mechanism stalled for dropping the bomb, because with them being two people teams for these planes, one of them would get out onto the wing while the plane's still in flight, usually with the engine turned off, to manually release the bomb.
Fuck.
Oh, these women were badasses.
See how this.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that they were defending their homes from the Germans. And when the Germans nicknamed them the Night Witches, they loved it. They embraced it. They did. They absolutely loved it. It's like I said, quite a lot of them had done over 800 missions each. 23 of these women actually received the Hero of the Soviet Union title as well.
Right.
Which is quite good. And they were the most highly decorated female unit in the Soviet Air Force.
Well, nice. Well done.
Yes, well done, Major Oskova and the 588.
Pretty badass, aren't they?
Oh, very, very.
But say, picture of you when you're talking.
Go on then.
That's you if you are a witch on a broomstick.
The witch.
And that's you if you are a lollipop. You a lollipop. Right. Well, I enjoyed that. It was very good.
It's unusual for you to actually enjoy something I've talked about.
I say it all the time. I'm contractually obliged to say so.
Well, I'm going to shatter the moment for you then, and I'm going to tell you a joke.
Go on then.
What spell would you cast if you wanted to summon an army of ducks?
I don't know.
Release the Quacken. You like that one. You like that one. I can tell by looking at you. You like that one. You're trying so hard not to laugh.
Okay, Drew. Right.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. I knew something wasn't right when we started off with me telling these stories. Who's this week's guest?
Fuck. Oh, my phone's flat. That's why.
Hang on. Where's my phone? You better ring Cindy.
Well, it was supposed to be Keith Lemon. So
Keith Lemon, who's that?
Lee Francis, Bo Selector.
Ah, Bo Selector.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard of Bo Selector, but
Well, I've asked Cindy for Keith Lemon. I've never heard now. He's not here, so.
well, you wouldn't hear out if your phone's flat.
Well, I know.
Right.
But he's not exactly at the door, is he? So.
Right. Let's have a look.
You got Cindy's number?
I think I do. Yeah, I think I saw it out your phone last week. Yeah, I'm just having a look to see if I can find it. But here, while I'm doing that, do you wanna? Is it something you wanna? Anything you wanna? Just.
Well, I
try
was
on
going to
about?
do Richie's Corner, but that's the number there. Aye, that's it there. Right, I'll dial it. Right. Hello. Yes, it's Richie. Uh-huh. Alright, so you're all on your way then, yeah? Uh-huh. What do you mean fruit? No, man. Fruit shop. Seriously? No, it's not your fault. I'm gonna have to ring my agent. But what's your name? Keith's Lemons. Oh, right. Doesn't matter. Right, no problem, mate. Bye.
I'm not going to say anything, and I'm not going to ask. I can already tell what's happened.
Well, there was one thing he did say,
Mm.
and that was cue the music. Hello, welcome to Richie's Corner. Today we're going to start off with a dad joke. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
I don't know, Richie. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
You follow the Fresh Prince.
Oh.
Right. Random fact. Cats have 244 bones. You didn't know that, sure.
No, I did not.
Now this one I thought was really good. Egyptians used to shave their eyebrows when the cats passed away as a sign of mourning.
Okay. You would think I would have known that.
Cats spend over 70% of their lives sleeping. I mean, to be fair, everyone kind of expected that.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised that number was so low, actually.
I know, actually. A cat was mayor of an Alaskan town for 20 years.
That I did know.
And now we have some fan mail. This one's from Andy from Gateshead, which is quite local. Can Drew stop interrupting Richie and spoiling Richie's corner?
I will try.
Well said, Andy. This one's from Pam from North Shields. This is closer.
Actually, Actually, no, yeah, North Shields is closer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only over the water. Where can I donate money? Richie needs his own microphone. Yeah, that'd be nice, a microphone each.
Well, Pamela, you can donate money by heading on over to our Patreon page, and you can subscribe to us there, and we'll be able to buy Richie his own microphone that way.
Give me your money.
And that's at patreon.com/thecuriouspodcasts.
Okay, so this one is for both of us. This one's from Dave and Kate from Sheffield. Hi Richie, me and my wife are looking to spice things up in the bedroom. Any ideas? You're the biggest pervert I know, so any ideas?
Chili powder.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Have you ever heard of the Bucking Bronco?
Possible, but yes, I have. I'm just not sure if I'm remembering the right one. Is that the one where you've got a bent over,
Yeah.
you're doing it from behind it, and then you say your sister did it better?
Yeah! And then you've got to cling on for dear life. So you could try that. What is the one called the pterodactyl, where the same again, but just as you're about to have a really good time, you grab the quilt and start flapping it like a pterodactyl.
You know, I've just thought of a way for a woman to get her revenge with regards to the Bucking Bronco. Is that if whoever she's with just isn't doing it hard enough for her, if she can like wrap her legs around him and say, "Your dad does it better," just to get a really.
To be fair though, that's probably true in my case.
Well, anybody does it better than you.
Exactly. Your dad done it better.
Yeah,
No argument from me.
But can you imagine the rage pounding that you'll give her out of it? See, women will try to get you off, where women...
Right. Let's just stop here. Right, so this one's from Gina, from Leeds. Hi Richie, I have recently got a new boyfriend. Everything's going really well, but there's one problem. His balls are so hairy. And I don't mean this to be nasty, but I mean really hairy. Like Chewbacca's chin hairy. Should I say something or not? I don't want to seem like I'm being mean.
So what was her name?
Gina.
Well, Gina, what you can do is if his sack is that hairy, is wait until he's gone to sleep, maybe even drug him so that he doesn't wake up, and then get a pair of tweezers and just yank each individual hair out while he's asleep. Now you can either not drug him so that he wakes up screaming in agony from the feeling of the hair.
Oh, I want to stop you there. Right, so don't listen to Joe.
Or you can drug him so that he wakes up and finds that he's still sore but extremely bald.
Okay, so don't listen to that. No drugs. Don't drug people. Don't. Right. So what I would say is if they are that long, maybe put them in a braid when he's asleep.
Oh, better yet.
Ponytails.
If you want to avoid any pain.
Or lawsuits or jail.
Well, women have a product that can painlessly remove hair called Veet. So you can Veet his sack while he's asleep.
Or you could just mention it though, like.
But she doesn't want to be mean about it.
Yeah, but you don't have to be mean about it. You could just say like.
Have you ever thought of
I don't
changing
know.
hairstyle, my love? Yeah, you ever thought of just having a different hairdo on your ball
Or
sack?
just get a picture of someone else's balls that are like clean shaved and go, oh, look at him, honey. And that, you know, you might get the hint, subtle hints. That over there. P.S. Can you take a picture of your penis wearing a goggly eye so it looks like a cyclops? Of course I can. You're well. Okay.
Have you got that thing preserved in a jar or something?
No, I've just got pictures. Right. This one's from Barbara. Our Barbara.
Oh, Barbara.
Well, guys. I went on my date with Ben. What a night, and what a man, I must say. I want to ask your advice, though. It's a bit personal, but let's just say he was a gentleman and didn't try anything with me. How do I tell him that I want to be dragged around like a pigeon eating a pasty, whipped like a horse on Grand National Day, spun around by my hair like a helicopter, punched my tits like a speed bag, locked in a cage, prodded and whipped like a fucking wild animal? You know, just the normal things. How would I subtly say that?
Well, I don't know how you would say it subtly, Barbara, but no doubt that he is listening to the podcast.
Oh, without doubt, yeah.
Which means that we have just told him, well, Richie has just told him for you. So there you go, job done.
Yeah, that's true. P.S. Can I have a picture of your penis with a moustache drawn on it and an eye patch and call it Uno Stash? Of course you can, Barbara. This one's from Big Fan E. Oh, sorry, Big Fanny. Hi. Hello. This one's from Drewcifer 94. Richie, if you talk to Juliet again, I will kick your dick through your forehead and smash your face into the ground, you fat cheeky prick. That's nice, isn't it? That's nice.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
Thanks for that, Drewcifer.
Thank you very much.
Have you got any?
Yes, we have got some emails. So, here we go. You plebs written in again.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that must be Ben.
No, Ben's fireman who's dating Barbara.
Ah, yes, but when you hear this email,
Right.
either that or Barbara's got two firemen on the go.
The way Barbara goes on.
Oi prick and hello Richie. I've still not listened to one of your podcasts. I just wanted to thank the cats. I have now met Barbara and we are having the best time. I recently took her on a tour of the fire station and gave her a private demo of my fire pole, if you know what I mean. Can I give a shout out? Hey Barbara, sticks two fingers to mouth and wiggles tongue in between. Can't wait to see you again.
Well, I wonder what that code could mean.
Indeed. P.S. Drew, you still talk too much. Well, you know, I'm the one that reads the emails, so I'm the one that reads the emails out. You're just going to have to live with it. P.S.S. I told you last week that it's P.P.S. I know where you live, bitch. That's alright, because I know where I live as well. And P.S.S.S. I told you it's P.P.P.S.
It's almost like he's doing it on purpose, isn't it?
I know. Barbara can suck a golf ball through a garden hose, if you catch my drift. Well, maybe you should try sucking her through a garden hose and she might get what she wants. Love and hugs, your number one fan. PSSSS. Oh yeah. Listen, yeah, I'm telling you. Fuck you, Drew. Right.
That was a nice email.
No, listen here, Ben. Right? And don't make me have to tell you that again.
Kiss your mother with that mouth. That was disgusting, that. And he's a Patreon. Sorry about that, pleb.
So, on to the next email. This is from Hugh Balls.
Oh.
Dog tits and chip face.
Yeah.
How yous doing? Well, we're doing alright.
No.
To your question last week, Drew, about my Uncle Jimmy, I've never seen him since he stuck his hand up my arse and told me not to see anything. Was a terrible ventriloquist. Problems for me this week. I've realised that I'm scared of stairs. They always look like they're up to something. And
One step at a time.
And also, the wife has told me that I need a beard. I hated it at first, but it's grew on me. Right, well, back to the show. I just want to know, does Richie do Richie's Corner naked?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually he does. He was quite insistent about it. If he does, can we start doing live streams? Well, Hugh, if you would like to pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Curious Podcast, you could start making donations there.
And we can buy a camera.
Indeed. I'm sure everyone would love to see a naked Pat Butcher. And my question to the competition is, I was walking down the street and my pants fell down. I bent over to pick them up, and then suddenly my Uncle Jimmy came out of nowhere, blindfolded me, and started to milk me like a cow. Anyways, today's show better be more shit than last week's. Much love, your number one fan, Chinese Craig.
Oh, Chinese Craig. Thanks for that, Chinese Craig.
Hold the bells, hold the horses. We're not done yet. We've just had a message coming in from Madame Jem to the emails. Let's have a look here what she's saying. Oh, to respond from that anonymous message earlier. Just saying, shut up and bend over.
Fair dude.
So there we go then. The answer to how did life get so twisted with a pair of cat curses and a wild redhead is shut up and bend over. And she also said for them to stop sticking up for us, that we had it coming. Well, you had it coming because you were the one that was stealing cat treats, special formula cat treats. I was just made guilty by association.
Right. Well, the competition winner this week is Snitchy from Barrow.
What, you came out with one better than Chinese Craig?
Not really, but I wrote this one down. I was walking down the street, my pants fell down, I bent over to pull them up, and I won the competition. P.S. Can I have a passport-sized picture of your penis? They don't come much bigger than a passport size anyway, so...
I mean, we'll have to blow it up a bit for it to actually take up the full base of a passport photo, but you know...
I'm sure I'll manage.
I've got to admit, I think I prefer Chinese Craig's.
Well, I've already written this. Well, I'll tell you what. Chinese Craig can have the year's supply of dog food. And Snitchy from Barrow can have the...
photo.
Yeah.
So you might not have won the competition, Snitchy, but yes, you can have that photo. Just make no promises about the quality of it.
It'd be very pixelated. Right? I think that's it for Richie's Corner. Back to the show.
So that was another Richie's Corner, and another wonderfully shit episode of
Absolute
the podcast.
Shambles, yeah.
A topic was requested last week, and you didn't prepare for it, so I had to come up with a couple of stories that were meant for a future episode. It's been a good episode. It's been a good episode.
Well, it's time for Word of the Week.
If you say so. Right. So, my word of the week is lampoon, which is to ridicule with satire. Or, there's the National Lampoon's movies, like National Lampoon's Vacation or stuff like that.
Well, I'm going to beat you this week.
Okay.
Because I've got a few.
You've got a few words of the week.
Lemon and lime, which is a double pointer. Lemonade and lettuce.
You could squeeze the lettuce the lime over the lettuce.
I'd squeeze you over the... Right.
No, that's
I think that's kind of it, but next week we definitely are having a guest. He's a famous YouTuber from Fire and Flame. We're going to have Flame from Fire and Flame.
Ooh.
Which he will be on because I haven't asked Cindy to do it. So
You've actually been arranging it yourself.
I've done it myself. So tune in next week for that.
Will we be getting Fire at some point or just Flame?
He might make an appearance now and then. Is that it or?
Yeah. That's it. I mean, there's no more emails.
Because clearly you've done nothing else. So it's just relying on me to have stories.
Actually, I'm the one who had the stories.
Well, you didn't do any preparing, did you?
Oh, I did. Just my preparation
Why
was
didn't
for
you
another
prepare
week.
for this?
Because you were meant to be talking about your fast
Podcasts.